Oh, sorry. I was in a hurry. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and decompose the largest number, but I'm going to find a 10 this time instead of taking a double. Okay? So what two numbers could I make out of 12? Just tell me. 10 and 2. So go ahead and fill all of that in. And what are we multiplying by today? 3.
And 4.
Right. So now I'm going to go ahead and add 10 plus 2. We did this the other day, maybe 2 days ago. But I'm going to multiply by the same number each time. Now I really have no idea why I wrote equals, equals, and equals on this thing. You only have to write the answer once, okay? So what's 10 times 3, boys and girls?
30.
And what's 2 times 3? And so the answer is 36. Now, I already knew that, didn't you? Because I know my 12s. What if you come across one you don't already know? Like, for instance, this one down here. Okay? Let's try this strategy again, and then you're going to figure these two out on your own. Instead of writing 14 times 4, I'm giving you a mental math strategy that you can use at any time. Okay? And mental math is very important because it helps you as you progress through your mathematic classes. Okay, so break 13 apart into
10 and 3.
And anytime you can find a 10 or a multiple of 10, that's the best choice. Okay? So then I have 10 plus 3. And what am I multiplying by?
3.
That's a lot of 3's. So I have 10 times 3. Boys and girls, what is it? And 3 times 3. So the answer is
39.
okay. So how many of you want to try this strategy? And by the way, you're welcome for the lines today. You're welcome for the lines.
Thank you.
Okay, try this strategy on the next two, and then we're going to discuss it a little bit. I'm going to pause. All right, so Jesus, tell us what to write on 14 times 4.
10, then 4, then 4.
Okay.
3 equals 10 times 4. 4 times 4. And 40 plus 60 equals 56.
Wow. So literally I could look at this and go, 10 times 4 is 40. 4 times 4 is 16. 40 plus 16 is 56. It's a mental math strategy. I guess we'll call it the decomposing strategy, huh? Okay. Okay, so Cooper, do the next one for us. What do I write?
So you're going to write 10, 3, 3.
Sorry, look at the one down below.
10, 5, 6.
Okay.
10, 6, 5, 6.
Okay, tell me what I'm doing. 10 times
6. And then 5 times 6.
Good.
And then 60 plus 30 equals 90.
All right, do you agree, boys and girls?
Yes.
Okay, let's take a look at the next one. This is solving numerical expressions. We wrote them for the last 2 days. Now we're just going to solve. Okay, but a quick review. How would I say this numerical expression? And I'm going to have 2 words in here for my operations. Okay, and I'm going to pull a stick. And the winner is Rustin. Rustin, how do I say that?
11 times the sum of 15 and 5.
Okay, 11 times the sum of 15 and 5. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay, so let's just simply solve these. Do you want to do them on your own?
Yes.
Okay, what do I do first? What's in
15
parentheses? Do the part in parentheses first. All right, so the first one, Robert, tell me what to write.
20.
Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and start with 11. Keep it in the same order. Cooper, put your book away now.
11 times 20
Good.
equals 220.
Okay, so did you do 11 times 2 and add a 0? Okay, let's take a look at the next one. That is Ella. Ella, tell me what to write here.
12.
Let's start with,
Okay. 30 and 12.
good.
And then
What's 3 times 12?
40.
3 times 12. Good. Starts with a 3. Good. So your answer here? Jaden, can you close the door for me, please? Yaneli, what's the next one? Now, when you add 75 plus 25, think of quarters, please. So what's 75 plus 25? Alondra, help her out with that part. 100.
$1.
Right. Or 100 cents. Times 38.
Equals
Okay, just a minute. Alondra, are you going to do 1 times 38? Sort of. Okay. So the answer is
3,800.
good. Okay, and the last one. Aubrey, what do I need to write here? 20 times 2, what is it? And 6 times 2? What's 40 plus 12? 52. That's why you don't have time to piddle around, because I might be pulling your stick. Okay, so today, first of all, I found out in my math meeting yesterday that I probably helped you too much. So, and I guess I helped you too much on this one, right? Because what did I draw for you? The tape diagrams. So now you know what strategy you're going to use to solve the problem, and you didn't even have to think. But I'm going to make you do the rest of it on your own. Okay? So, I'm going to read it, and then you're going to work quietly, and we'll talk about it when we're finished. Okay? I am not going to give you very long to do this, because this is not the most important part of today's lesson. Okay? So Jackson earned $39 raking leaves. His brother, Dayon, earned 7 times as much waiting on tables. Write a numerical expression to show Dayon's earnings. How much money did Dayon earn? That's what we've been doing. Just writing down the thinking, okay? Now, this is not a 2-step problem. So you're not going to probably have parentheses. And there I go helping you too much again. Okay, so go ahead and get started. And I'm going to get my tape diagrams on there anyway. So in solving this problem, what's the first step I need to do, Amy? What do you think?
How much Jackson earned?
Right, and I'm going to show his name with a J. And Dayon, go ahead and put your book away. Make sure you did this right, okay? Cooper, put your book away. And Jackson earned how much? $39, okay? So the next step would be Justin. What's the next step in solving this problem?
You have to put 6 lines on the box.
Okay, and so you'll have how many spaces?
7. Or
Yeah, you're right. Okay, and then what?
then you put 39 on each
Good. And as I was walking around, I saw most of you doing that. In fact, I don't think I saw a single person who didn't. So the next step to solve the problem is write the expression. Brian, what expression would it be? And a numerical expression is going to be sort of like a numerical sentence. So it's going to go across. So what will you write? What am I trying to figure out?
Total.
The total amount that he made. So what will I write? How many groups of 39?
7.
Okay. And the answer, boys and girls?
273.
What?
273.
And that would be in dollars, right? Okay, and if I were going to write a sentence, which you could have done while you were waiting,
I did.
okay, is to put it in Dayon earned $273 waiting on tables. Okay, now here's the deal. I think waiting on tables is a lot more,
Working.
not really. I think it's a lot better job, actually. But that's my opinion, because I would really like to make the money. If your goal on your job is to have fun, which one would you probably choose? Raking the leaves, okay?
Because you could
So as a teacher, what do you think my goal is? Making money or having fun?
having money.
You're right. Why would I choose this otherwise? Why would I spend all day with fifth graders if it didn't really make me happy?
Because we're awesome.
Not necessarily.
No. You wouldn't.
I wouldn't, okay? So I guess if you want to be really good at your job, choose something that's fun to you, okay? Let's talk about the lesson
On the
today.
trampoline.
Now I really need you to focus, because this, to start with, is a little bit confusing. So what we're doing is we're using mental math to solve problems. Blair really listened to me in the last class, and he said, oh, Mrs. Lewis, got down to the next one. He said, oh, I think I just did this one in my head with the steps you just taught me. And I said, oh, that's really good. So let's see if he's right. And then we checked it, okay? So once I show you the steps, I'm going to give you a few seconds to do it mentally in your head, and then we'll see if you're right. But we still have to write out the steps today. The reason we're writing out the steps is so that in a couple days, you'll know those steps, and you'll be able to do it with hardly thinking about it, okay? Just not even, I mean, it'll be as easy as 3 plus 5, okay? All right.
Which is 8.
Whoa,
Team.
you scared me there for a minute. Okay, so get serious. First of all, I have to tell you what the unit is. The unit is the number in the box, okay? And today, 8 is going to be our unit. So how many boxes will we need?
8. 2.
I said 8 is the number
31.
31. So before we do anything else, I want you to write 31 eighths. And what this means is 31 groups of 8. And the last couple days, we even did something. We stuck a little groups of sign in there, didn't we? You don't have to. I'm actually going to take it out for today's lesson. But that's what we did, okay? So in order to do this, did I show you my trick? Oh, it's great. You don't have to write all the 8s.
Yeah, you taught us that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to write with 3 dots. Means it keeps going. It's going to be the same, okay? So that's how I'm going to draw 31 eighths. So go ahead and put that on the first tape diagram. And then you're going to see where I'm going with this in a minute. Okay, so my goal is to figure out the answer to 31 eighths. Now leave a little bit of room. Leave room for a bracket right here. But that's my goal today. Figure out 31 eighths without doing the standard algorithm. And I'm going to teach you a trick. It's actually mental math. I was trying to think of a name for it, and the only name I could think of it, which is really boring, is find a multiple of 10 that's close. And that's a really boring name. So we're going to find a multiple of 10 that's close to the number of groups. How many groups do I have?
31.
31. So what number is close to 31?
30.
That's a multiple of 10. So go ahead and write 38ths down underneath the second bracket. And then we're going to do the same thing. Where we don't have to draw it all. Thank goodness, right? Now you'll see. Okay? So my goal is to figure out 31 eighths, but I'm going to use 38ths to help me. I'm actually going to do 38ths plus how many? Plus 1/8. But you're right. I would put an 8 in there, wouldn't I? Oops, 1/8, not 1/8. Okay, now basically this is my thinking when I get ready to do this problem mentally. I'm going to look at it. I'll say, oh, 31/8, I can easily do 38 in my head. Just a minute, okay? Let me go through the steps, and then you're going to be so good at it by the end of this. All right, so I'm going through the steps, and I'm going to think, oh, I'm just going to think of 30. I can do that in my head and add a 0, and then I can add 8 more, and I'm done. Okay, so here's how it looks in a numerical expression. 31 times 8, actually this is an equation, equals 30 times 8 plus 1 times 8. Write that down. Now this method, you'll do 3 steps in your head. So that's the reason for the 3 equal signs right here. Remember, this first part above the squiggly line, that's just what I'm going to think. Okay? This is my thought. Oh, I can use 30. Okay? All right, so now just solve it like we did before. So 30 times 8, what is it?
38.
3 times 8 is 24. Add how many zeros?
1, and then you add the 8, which is 238.
So 240 plus 8 is 248. Clever, huh? So in my mind, here's what I would have done. I would have went, oh, and change that to 30. 8 times 30 is 240. Then I just have to add one more group of 8, so it's 248. See where I'm going with this? Okay, now I'm going to teach you one more. Then we're going to go back to the application problem and see if we could have done it without the standard algorithm. Okay? I'm going to teach you one more, and then if there's time, we'll go through and do the rest of those because they're really fun. Okay, so if I'm looking at this, 29/8, right? What multiple of 10 could I choose that's close? 30. So before I do anything else, I have to decide, is 30 more or 29 more?
30.
So that's got to go on top. So this will be, and you have to write this, 38, and the bottom one will be 29/8. Okay, now, I'm going to go ahead and do this, but I want you to be very careful. Take a look at my pen. Make this one be even with the end of the other one. And try and get your line straighter than mine, I guess, huh? So make your 29, or your group of 8 be even with the end of 29. Okay, now, right now I'm going to write down my thinking. I'm going to do it above this squiggle line here. Here's my thinking. Well, if I have to solve 29/8, I'm going to think of 38 minus 1/8. That's my thinking. And then all I'm going to do to show that is cross off one group of 8. Now remember, this right here is my thinking. Oh, I'm just going to think of it as 38 minus 1/8. Okay. How do I write that as an equation? I'm going to do 29 times 8 equals, and then I've got 2 sets of parentheses, don't I? What goes in between the parentheses this time? Add or subtract? Subtract. So I've got 38 times 8 minus 1 group of 8. And 2 more equal signs. Sit up, Corbin. Are you done all the way to the last equal sign? So what was 30 times 8 last time? Minus 8. Do not shout the answer. So I'm going to do 240 minus 8. And the answer is 232. Okay? Now here's what I want to do. Let's rewind back to that application problem. And this is really the most important thing of the day. We wrote this problem 7 times 39. Now what if I turned it around to 39 groups of 7? Do you have room? Okay, I'm going to show you how to do this. It's really easy. So write this down. Don't put anything at the top or bottom yet. Just write that down. Let's make the unit be 7. Let's switch it around. What multiple of 10 is close to 39? 40. So 47s would go on top. The actual number of 7s is what? 39 7s. So here's my thinking. You already know what I'm going to say, don't you? To do this problem, 39 times 7, I'm just going to think of 47s minus 1 7, and I should get the answer. See if you get the same answer as before. Did you get the same answer as before? Yeah. Without the standard algorithm, and very soon you'll be able to do these 3 equal sign steps in your head, won't you? Because your thinking will be, oh, I'll just change 39 to 40, and then I'll subtract. Okay? Let's keep going. Cooper, you missed that whole thing. I know you feel like you don't need it, but I'm going to need you to follow along with me. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. Now, if I were going to solve this using the standard algorithm, it wouldn't really make me very happy. I could do it, but it wouldn't really make me very happy. So don't do it, okay? Let's use our mental math strategy. And for today, there's a couple reasons why you have to write out the steps. Number 1, it's on the problem set and exit ticket. And number 2, in order to learn the steps on easy problems, so you can use them on hard problems, okay? Because if I come across a problem that's too hard for me, I'm probably going to write down 3 equal signs to get myself started thinking about this, okay? So that's what I can do down here. So I've got 49 groups of 20. So my unit is what, boys and girls? 20. Go ahead and fill in that much on your tape diagram. And then we need to make some decisions before we go on. Okay, you are being very good on the video for me. I think she's going to appreciate that a lot.
And Katie.
And Katie, that's right. So right now, I'm going to think 49 is close to what number? 50. Well, 50. You need to stop.
So you would multiply by 50 and then subtract.
Okay, so you're going to go ahead and do 50 20s. Now, I know you don't want to write it out, but if I don't have you write it out, you're going to think the problem set looks like a foreign language to you. And what is the actual amount we're trying to solve here?
49.
49 20s. Okay, so I'm going to show my thinking here. My thinking is, To do 49 20s, I'll just change 49 to 50 20s. Whoops. And then subtract 120. So there's my thinking. So, using that same strategy, what goes between the two sets of parentheses this time?
50 times 20.
Okay, I'm going to repeat the question. What goes between the two sets of parentheses? Subtract or minus sign.
Oh.
Okay? All right. So I want you to do the rest of it and get an answer for me. Okay? Then look up at mine and see if you're right. Quit tapping. To do 50 times 20, I did 5 times 2, which is 10, and then I added how many zeros? 2 zeros. Okay. So 1,000 minus 20 is what I've got to solve. Is that what you have?
Mm-hmm.
What's the answer? 980. 980. Okay. Now let's do the next one. How is that one different? Instead of 49, what number do I have? 51. So I'm still going to think in my mind, oh, I'll use 50, right? But where does 50 go this time? Top or bottom? Why? Aren't I putting the largest number on top?
Yeah.
We'll probably just do one more problem after this for the sake of time. So what number am I going to use to solve 51 20s? What number? 50 20s. Now, do you think I could just say my thinking now instead of write it?
No.
So I'm going to think to myself, 51 20s equals 50 20s plus one group of 20. So here's how I write it. 51 20s equals, what goes between the two parentheses this time? Addition. Because first of all, I didn't cross it off. Second of all, the larger number is the one I'm solving. It's more than 50, so I have to add. Okay? So I will use the same thing again. 50 times 20 plus 1 times 20. And I think you can do the rest of it, can't you? Do it and check it with mine. So what'd you get for an answer, boys and girls? 1,020. Okay. On the back page, we're going to do one more. And it's going to be the one on the right. Because the one on the right's a little bit different. I want to see if you can figure out what to do. Okay, so 12's my unit. So let's start by getting 12 on your tape diagram. I'm thinking about this tape diagram. So 98 I'm going to think of as what? 100. Since 100's more, I better get it on top. Okay. So how many more is 98 or 100 than 98? 2 more. So how many boxes of 12 do I need at the end? 2. Because my actual is 2 away from my multiple of 10. That's a power of 10. So I have 98 12s I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I need someone to tell me my thinking on this. How would I solve it? Want me to pull a stick?
Yes.
Somebody tell me my thinking. Put your pencils down. I'm asking you a question.
Oh, you go 98.
Alondra, tell me my thinking. So I've got to figure out 98 12ths. What number am I going to use?
100.
100, right? So to figure out 98, do I add some groups of 12s or subtract some groups of 12? Subtract. How many?
1, 2.
2, because 98 is 2 less than 100. Okay, so my thinking is, I'm going to use this, I'm going to change it to 100, but then I'll have to subtract a little bit when I'm done. Okay, so this is 98 12ths equals, what goes between the two sets of parentheses? Corbin, tell me what to write. As subtraction sign, good. Tell me what to write.
100 times 12, and then 2 times 12.
Good. And why did we use a 2 instead of a 1 this time?
Because it's 2 higher than the actual.
That's right. So 2 more equal signs. Corbin, keep going. What's 100 times 12?
1,200.
And 2 times 12, what's that?
24.
Okay, so 1,200 minus 24. Now, I could do this, but I'm not going to. You know me well enough by now to know I'm not going to do this. So how am I going to subtract this easily in my head? Hint, let's break something apart.
2. Break the 2 apart.
From the 4. So this is going to be a 20 and then a 4, right? So if I do 1,200 minus 20, what do I get?
1,180.
1,180. And then I subtract how many more?
4.
I get 1,176.
Just in time.
Just in time. Okay.